palette data. So that all being said, here's Pixel Vision Engine Interactive, Pixel Vision Engine. All right, cool. We're gonna give this a try and see where we left off. I don't remember. This is the basic engine here. Well, while we have this open, let's open up Visual Studio off to the side here. And if you're familiar with Pico 8, this is sort of like my take on Pico 8, but I wanted to build it on top of Unity because I wanted to leverage the fact that Unity can actually compile to all kinds of different platforms. All right, so let's do this. And if I run this real quick, just to kind of give you an idea of what this engine does, this is the play mode. It's not running anything right now, but if I stop it, there's a code editor, so I can add code, and this is Lua. So I have a Lua interpreter that sits on top of Unity. We can go into the tile editor here, and I can start drawing. I think I'm in the eraser mode. I've had some problems with this UI. I don't know why it's not picking the colors, but the whole idea is we're going to try to get this now to actually save. So if I hit save and whoops, went to desktop, and we call this test, and we save it, we should have, let's open up Sublime. We're going to have some JSON data in there. No, we don't need to save any of this stuff. Let's open up a file on the desktop called test. And this is basically what it outputs. Now, we're going to fix this. Right now, I was using the JSON, this JSON library serializer to convert these colors. But I don't know if I can reserialize them. And it was easier before just to do them as hex values. So the other thing we'll do is let's open up here. There's a JS Lint, or actually it's a Json Lint, and we throw this into the validator. I'll increase the size here, and we hit validate, and all this JSON data is valid. So here you'll see we have the information about the engine, which is this Pixel Vision system definition, which will give us the frames per second, the sprite cap, the colors per sprite. Here we have the game script. This will be all the logic that goes into the scripts that we write for Lua. And then I started saving out the palette data. So what I wanted to look at is I had a sprite palette picker. Was that it? I don't even remember where I put half of this code. Current color, no. Let's see, engine, framework, Pixel Vision engine, utilities, custom editor. I don't remember. It's not good. I don't remember what I was doing here. Utilities, data utility. Yeah, okay, I think I was doing it here. What I don't remember was half of this stuff. I'm gonna get some music going too. What am I listening to? All right, so, and let me, let's stop that from doing its thing. Okay, so in here I have these, I have palettes, iPalette, serializable palette, add color. I had this wrap string JSON get type toString JSON toString this. Earlier what I was doing was if I just did this SB toString, I should be able to Here, call get type. I was using this. I wrote this little method here that turns a to HTML string RGBA, and then I can convert that back into something that's usable. So let's let me rerun this and save it and see what if this actually outputs correctly. I think I'm not doing we'll save this here. Yeah, save that. Let's open up Sublime. And that didn't do anything. Script data goes here, palette parse. Okay, so, oh right, it didn't save anything because I didn't go into, it needs to load up the palette data first. And then now if I save it, let's save this just as game and we'll open this up. As game. Alright, so here it's saving out all the palette colors. What I want to make sure I do next is we need to add a we need to append a comma. So SB dot append. Whoops. And we're going to turn this into an array. So I guess what I sort of left Nightly. Yeah, that's an old build. That was my Ludum Dare game. I don't have a build. Unfortunately, I don't have a build of this. This will never run in the browser because of the Lua interpreter, which sort of stinks. All right, so what I want to do for this is I need to convert this into an array. So let's do this. Dot append. And I sort of decided I'm just going to do what am I going to do here? What I've basically decided is I'm just going to save this as JSON. I was coming up with this I was coming up with some other try to format, whether I was going to do this as some like proprietary format, and I think JSON just seems to be the easiest. I can always come back and like change it. What I do is to sort of take a step back and walk through what's going on here. I have this interface for a palette, and the interface implements this I save and I load, so I can serialize the data and deserialize the data, and the serialization is done as strings, just so it's a little bit more portable. And the palette represents all the colors you're able to paint with. So before I can get the pixel editor to save out its data, I need to know the palette information, because what I'll do is when you load up the game, I'm going to build all the artwork based on the palette that's loaded up, and then the artwork, the sprites are really just going to save references to. They just save references to the palette you use and where they go on this image. And so it'll every time a game loads up, it rebuilds its artwork on its own. And so the maximum artwork you can have in the game is a 256 by 256 texture. So it's going to be a little bit limiting, right? But it'll at least be interesting. I don't know. So let's see. All right, so the last thing we want to do is we want to make sure that if I is greater, if I is less than total minus 1, we will add this we will add a comma as we go through, so that this will wind up just becoming an array. So here we are going to get the type of the class to string, and then we are going to take this data here from the serialized data, and that should make a array. Let's run this, go into the editor and see what this works. See if this works. So save this, yes, come here. It made an array. Let's go to our Json Lint and validate this. And of course it doesn't work because all of these need to be strings. So we'll just make this a string here. So it needs to be an array of strings. And save it. Come back here. All this is updated, and now go and let's validate this and hope this works. Yay! So okay, so now our JSON data is valid. So what we're going to wind up doing is we now have this palette, and these are all the colors that go in the palette. Next, what I'm thinking of doing is it would be nice to be able to load this data up. I don't know. This is like one of those things I was like in a trance when I started writing all this, and I don't even know like what half of this stuff is. We should probably break these things out into their own classes. None of this is dependent on system def, game script, game data. None of these are dependent on mono data utility. This is the only one that is, because that's a singleton. Read data. And this is the data utility. So let's see if we can break this stuff out into its own. But why am I not signed in? Why is there like multiple? Hold on, let me sign into Visual Studio. Redirecting. Used to get stuck in these like redirecting from hell login things with when I worked at Microsoft, where like I couldn't figure out. Let's see if this works. It couldn't figure out where I needed to log in. Suppose I would have like my personal account, and then it would have my Microsoft account, and like it was always a mess. All right, what I wanted to see here was Windows, tool project, show all files in the project. I closed Server Explorer, Toolbox Explorer. Where is I closed out these windows and I can never find them again. Project View. I want the Solution Explorer. There we go. Now, what I was kind of curious about was, can I, let's see, Pixel Vision is the engine. Scripts, Pixel Vision, engine. I'm going to create a new folder here, and we're going to call this models. And in the models, we're going to, let's pull out where is this utility? Where is data utility? This is in Pixel Vision app utilities. Huh. palette. All right, I'm probably going to move this around. I'm in this perpetual phase of just moving things around, and I never know where I want this stuff to be. What I wanted to see real quick is, can I create a new class? I feel like there's a Unity. Nope, it's not installed. All right, we're going to create a new class here, and this is going to be Pixel Vision Engine Models. And let's take the palette class out. We're going to call this palette. And let's pull this guy out. And we're going to put him into here, palette. Let's import all this stuff. And I want from the data utility, there is a palette. Let's put this. Oh, I don't want the, hold on, this is the wrong class. All right, leave that there. This is where we are. All right, so that's the palette. Let's save this, and then here we want to import Pixel Vision Engine Models. All right, fine. And then that'll fix that. Now, will this still work is the real question. Let's rerun this. Save. The one thing I don't get though is utils pool window framework. Yeah, here's the thing. This didn't framework animation Pixel Vision Engine Models. Okay, so that is here. Override. Alright, let's save this now. Then come back in here. This will recompile. Let's see if there's any errors. What I want to do is I want to start pulling out these classes. So I had this like really bad habit of creating like nested classes, and this stuff should all be broken out into its own stuff. So we're going to leave for this utility. I actually want to move this into another place. This is an app utils. I want to make the I want to move the data utilities into here, and then we need to change this to engine. And then here we want to re-import this. Oh, I had to tell you, I was trying to do refactoring with MonoDevelop, and I wanted to like tear my eyes out. This is so much easier. With ReSharper too, it's going to help fix a lot of these issues. Ignore. All right, so game data. I'm just trying to get all this stuff into the right namespace now. All right, so let's rerun this real quick and just make sure that I didn't blow anything up. And if I look at this, it looks like everything is still there. Good. Okay, so we're just going to keep pulling out. Whoops, we're going to keep pulling out stuff. until we get the classes that we want. So let's get rid of the Pixel Vision engine, this utility. So next thing we want is pixel data as a model. Pixel data, move this over here, and pull this out here, and we're going to do Pixel Vision engine model. And let's just clean up, remove unused directives. Gotta love that. All right, that's pixel data. The next is tile data. Add a new class. And we'll pull this out. We need to import this. We need to set this to the right namespace, and we need to clean up unused imports. So there was this engine I was looking at that's like an open source C# engine. I was thinking of moving stuff over to that, but it's not ready yet for publishing to multiple platforms. But what I'd love to get to the point of is where the core of this game engine is just pure C#, and I can and I'll be able to port it over to something if a better platform manifests itself. Like I could use mono game or something like that too, like anything really, and then just remove the Unity dependencies. So part of my refactoring will be to get this engine sort of clean like that. Add class. So all these core classes are all independent of any of the of Unity's mono behavior stuff. All right, save that. Where are we at? Game data. And this will just make everything a lot cleaner. So now all the data utility does is it provides the interface for us to save and load data, and then that's sort of all it needs to do. All right. This is the core. This game data is the core of the engine. This is where all the game data sits. It's like the main model. All right, this is how we save and how we load. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, whoop, I have errors. All right, let's fix these errors. Ignore. Let's just load that up. And let's clean this stuff up. Okay. That's Pixel Vision Engine. We come back in here. All right. So if we run the game, let's just make sure that we can stop this, go into the editor, and save. And we'll save our game. Now, let's open up the game data, open file, game, copy this stuff, open up JS Lint or JSON Lint, and everything is still valid. Great. So now all of our models are broken out into individual classes. What I wanted to test out next was I never implemented loading a game. So let's see if we can do that. That's on the app side. UI, sprite editor, Windows, play window, pixel editor, editor window. Where is that stuff wired up to? What is save wired up to? Save is a button, and this goes to Pixel Vision engine. So here's the engine, Pixel Vision engine. So there should be a method here for loading a game. So game data, new load game. What I want to do is open up a window that lets me pick a string, and then this game data class. What we'll do here is let's see here, var data equals, and then we'll do game data dot deserialize data, and we'll pass it in data. Now what we need to do next is get this to actually work. So let's do data utility load. Let's see. Load data. It's asking for a file name and whatnot. So let's. I don't remember how to. I'll do a quick search for this. Unity C# load. Text. Loading data from a text file. I think I have this somewhere else, but let's see. These examples aren't giving me the window. I think I have this in my tilemap editor. Where is engine framework? App engine game graphics map editor, tilemap editor. Scripts, Pixel Vision engine. Pixel Vision tilemap editor? Nope, not there. Tilemap editor. In here somewhere should be the load. A load screen displayed dialog. Save map data. Load map data. Here we go. So for right now, we'll just do this here. If Unity editor and if. So we have to do it this way because what happens is the all of this stuff it only runs in the editor. It won't run this Windows stuff. I'm basically leveraging Unity's editor for all the UI I haven't built yet. When I do when I finally implement saving and loading data, it'll all be to like a local area within the game. But I don't have that yet. So in order to get this to continue to compile, we're going to do it this way. I'm just going to throw in all this stuff here. We don't need raw data build from string. What we're going to do is this reader.text. We don't need this. So we don't need to rebuild any of this. All we need is the editor open file. We'll go through, we'll read it, and when it's done, we will set data to equal reader text. Let's put this up here. So in essence, what's happening is we're telling the editor utility to give us a open file panel. We're going to say open game data text file. We're going to set this path to assets resources just as a default. We're going to use a reader to load this up and then go through and wait for the data to be processed. We're going to get the text out of that reader and pass it into the data variable. Then we're going to create a new game data, and then we will we're going to reserialize it through here. I might wind up moving this over to the data utility. Load data, save data. Here it saves as a file name. This serialize file name. Read data. All right, I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote that, but in essence, what we should see now is when this guy goes to deserialize, we're going to do debug. Debug log. Why is debug not working? Using system. Did I like break this? Should this be engine? Debug.log. Unity engine log. Debug system diagnostics log. Why can't I do debug log? What did I break? Debug log test. Save it. Huh. Look at that. I can't do debug log. What is this? This is Unity engine debug. So let's do Unity engine. I'll get rid of the systems diagnostics. We don't need that. There we go. That'll fix that. All right. So here we're going to say load data, and then we'll just take a look at what the data looks like. So let's just recompile, get rid of the errors. We'll run this. And when this loads up for the first time, it's going to ask us to pick a game file. Then it will parse that game file, and that'll work. We can also retest this by loading it and hitting OK, and that will all work. And it's now pulled out all the data. So what we want to do next is we're going to take a quick little break, but we'll take a quick little break. But at this point, we now have the game engine will automatically ask you to load a file when it starts up. We're going to clean that process up a little bit. And what was happening internally was when you went to the pixel editor, it actually would go and create the palette from an image. We're going to strip that logic out. And now when you start the game up, we will load the palette data from a text file, and then we will populate that inside of the palette correctly. And we'll get all this parsing logic working. And then that's the first foundation that I need in order to get the pixel editor working. Because once I get the palette data going, then we will pick colors from the palette, and then we will use those palettes to save the data for where we draw pixels. So it should be an interesting day. Let's take a quick break and